This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
We are excited today to be here with BH Wellness Group. That's right. Bhavna Srivastava is joining us here, and we're going to talk today, of course, about the amazing work she's doing to really help so many people transform their lives. She's a global spiritual guru, philanthropist, lifestyle transformational coach, mentor, Reiki, grandmaster teacher, trainer, and international speaker, let alone best-selling author. I mean, there's so much to you. And I just want to congratulate you on all your success and, of course, your graciousness of being here and for what you're doing. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you. I'm
Great.
honored to be here.
Well, Bhavna, why don't we start off by having you just introduce yourself to our listeners to start?
Okay. So I help people who have gone through experiences in life, which sometimes hold them down and pushes them from not being themselves. So I uplift them, transform them, shift them to recognize themselves, their greatness, and shine their light.
Wow. Okay, well, I have to back up, and I think it's important for us to get to know you as a person. I want to know where you're from. I want to know more about your background and how you discovered all of this. Would you mind giving us a little bio in a sense?
Definitely. I am an Indian by origin from India. And I came to this country and I call this my, karma bhumi.
Yeah.
And everything started here. So just came here by fluke and started my journey, started my work. I'm married, I have two kids and a dog. And
Amazing.
yes.
And tell me a little bit about this journey and, how did you get into this type of business of wanting to help people?
I was always that kind of a person. Anybody who knows me, they know they can call Bhavna anytime, day or night. It doesn't matter. That's how I am since I was a little kid. I was always the peacemaker at home with my siblings. If they would fight or if they would argue, anybody, anywhere I went, I would always try to create like, okay, let's be peaceful. What can we do?
Well,
Yeah.
I want to find out about the Golden Light. You mentioned this wellness group. When did you even start the company? And, tell us more about the whole wellness group because there's two different companies too we're going to be discussing. So let me ask, where did you want to start first?
So it's very interesting you talk about the company. Company came and was birthed by my experience in
Mm-hmm.
2005, which led slowly to that. Both the companies are my promises to God I made, and that yes, I will serve your people. I am here, whatever you want me to help them in whatever form.
Yeah.
And that's how they were both birthed. I went through in 2005 a near-death experience with a car accident,
Oh,
and I actually am saying it now in public in media now that I've spoken at my stages when I've spoken since last year that I was pulled out of the car by God
oh,
when the car was all fuming. So it was an experience to connect, see, feel God, that He comes when you call Him from your heart and soul. Because I just surrendered at that moment when I was stuck in the car and nobody came. And I just sat there and I said, God, okay, if you just want to do this, make it fast. I'm all yours. And I stopped that struggle, trying to get out. And I said, whatever you want to do. And
oh.
then Kazan came and he just pulled me out like a leaf from the passenger window when the entire car was on top of me. And and he asked me, "Are you okay?" I looked down and I look up and there was nobody inside. And I said, "Yes." And that's when my journey of hearing God's voice, started. And then when I healed, I went through the trauma of that on my physical body. I couldn't walk. I was paralyzed in my right leg. And that shifted because he reminded me of how I could help myself because I tried everything on the medical system. You have that brain. I'm an MBA, so I had a very logical brain, which,
Mm-hmm.
you know, defies and you want to go through
Of
the
course.
proper channels and do
I got
everything.
goosebumps, by the way, hearing this story. My goodness.
Yeah. And then I tried everything. I was even on crutches and I had small kids that time. I had a full
Oh,
house. I had my in-laws living with me. So I would hold my little son in my arms and do all the work, but living in pain, 24/7, having those medication, 800 or even more sometimes, but doing everything still. So there was, at that time, there was like, you go through those experiences of those feelings and those moments and emotions of, why me? Why am I suffering? What have I done wrong? You know? And that got me into, and, God was like, why not?
no.
you know, would you like to put this on somebody else? And I was like, no, I don't want anybody else to suffer like this. I don't want anybody to be in pain. So then slowly he got me to understand. And he or she, I would, whoever that divine light is. And that's when he asked me, he's like, would you like to be that hand to others I have been to you? And I said, yes. So this was a yes in 2007. And then he said, then 2012 came and I was chosen by the universe. And 2012, 21st
Oh,
December at 11:30 p.m. in Westboro, Doubletree, with 275 people witnessing me turning into the golden light. So the entire universe came and prepared me for that moment where people who actually peaked, we went through a whole day of preparation. And at night, when they actually, some of them peaked, they said, we didn't see anything except golden light on the stage. We couldn't see you.
ah,
So it was a transformation. It was powerful. It was beautiful.
yeah.
It shifted me into, stopping the judgment process, but just loving, accepting people just the way they are. But, and wanting them to be peaceful and living with love, you know?
Yeah.
And so then I said, God, okay, bring me your people who are in pain, and how can I help them? And guide me and teach me. So if they come to me, tell me, what do I do? You know? So when people come to me, and I just have that knowing of what's going on. Sometimes it's like a video. I see what they have gone through in their personal life, professional life,
Yeah.
and what sometimes they won't say. Sometimes I've had men come to me, my wife, she believes in you and she sent me, and I don't know, I'm just going to get on the table and you do whatever you have to do you know and I would be like, okay, thank you for coming. And then I would do, and they wouldn't say. I remember one time one person came and he had knee pain and he couldn't
Ah,
walk, and he didn't say anything, but he just came and lie down on the table. And
yeah.
I was like, okay. So I started to work and I saw that. And after the session was done, and he got up, he was quiet. He got up and he started to do sit ups. And I was like, what are you doing?
Whoa.
And then he started to cry. And he
Ah,
was like, for past 22 years, I haven't been able to do this. And I did not believe in what my wife said. I did not believe in till now. He's like, you've done miracle. I said, it's not me, it's him,
yeah.
you know? And sometimes, when that happens, people leave and I just sit there and I'm so humbled by what happened. And I just cry. I'm like, thank you, God, for letting me help this person to feel better, because as that person leaves, his life changes, his family's life changes because they can do so many things together, which he
Ah,
might not have been able to do before,
mm.
right? So it's been a journey, and that's how 2012 Bhavna's Wellness Group came about. And then I, went and being who I am, I wanted to help people more. I became a coach, I became a mentor, I became a facilitator, speaker, author. So I've got 5 books. This is my first book,
Wow.
Trauma
Okay, you
and
got to
Self.
show me. Okay, okay, hold on. How many books do you have? Five?
I have 5 books.
Okay, would you mind showing me that one again? Tell me the name of it.
Yes, this is my first one. Healing Trauma and Self-Care.
And what year did you write this, sweetheart?
This is 2016 or 15.
Okay. And tell me a
And
little bit about it.
so if you actually see the picture,
Mm-hmm.
this, I call this, even though this is my first book, it's like 60 pages.
Okay.
I channeled the whole book in 7 hours and I wrote it with
Wow.
hand in a flight nonstop from the angels. And so I call it, it's their book. And I've tried to get it edited 4 times. Okay. And every time it would come back to me and I would open it and that would disappear.
Wow.
And so then I was like sitting down. I was like, why is the editing, all the people
Yeah.
I've paid, I'm not able to do it. I'm not able to see it. And it just, email gets deleted or disappears or, it's not showing up. And then I tuned in. I was like, why? They said, we just want you to send it to people, the real version, because you channeled and our energy is in it with that. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. So that's why this is not on Amazon. This is not anywhere. It's just directly from me, where when people ask me, I just bring in their energies and gift it to that person. So you keep it with you in your pocketbook, you carry it. I specialize in trauma because of what I went through in personal life. And so there's meditation, mantras, and healing energies from the angels. So once you read it, I say read a chapter a week or a month. Take your time. And once you've read it, anytime you're going through something, you just open the book and you can feel the energy of the angels come in and help you in life at that time. And whatever message there is, you receive it from that. So this is
Wow.
something, you know, and the picture. So I was upstairs in my room and I was doing some work when they asked me, like, come out, come out. This is in the evening. And I was like, okay. And I was looking for a picture for the front cover.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, just come out. And I went out and I opened the door and the sky was beautiful. And they said, this is all of us standing here. Take a picture. This is going to be the cover page. And that's what I have here. This is
Beautiful.
all of them right there.
Ah,
This is like the real picture I took.
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Wow.
Yeah. So I tell people, even if you don't do anything, if you just had this will help you.
Oh my goodness. But you're helping so many in so many different ways, not just with the book, through the workshops, the retreats, the coaching. There's so much to you. And that's why I don't know where to continue because you got to tell me chronologically now what's next. What are you working on? How are you helping people? There's so much to the work at the Golden Light that you're able to help people with. And there's great
Yeah.
testimonials. I want to talk about some of the people you've worked with. Yes.
Definitely. So the journey just started, and I became, like I said, I became from being that going on stages and speaking on stages, and I had my wellness center. I had a thriving practice with 30 plus practitioners, all different healing modalities, and it was a holistic wellness centers. And people from all over in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. I lived there for 22 years, and people from all over would just come to me. So I didn't go anywhere; they would just come, and it was amazing. There were times when I did 80 hours a week because even if I was going out to lunch and there would be somebody coming in and they're in pain and I would say, okay, I'll help you out. There'll be moments like where I remember there was one time a lady, she came in and she had a pain in her heart. And I've done training on heart attack, so that I could recognize the symptoms and help people with that. So when she came to me, she had all the symptoms of a full-blown heart attack. And I was like, I'm going to call 911 and send you there. You
Yeah.
have to go to the doctor. You're getting a heart attack. And she looked at me and she says, Bhavna, I'm not going anywhere. If you can heal me, I will be fine. But if you send me, I'm going to die.
Ah.
And I will say no to that. And I
Ah.
just looked at her and I was like, God, what do I do? Because now it
Mm-hmm.
was brain over, this lady had that trust in me. and it could go either ways. So for a minute, I went into a panic mode of, oh my God, and then I said, God, I want your help here. And I looked at her and I said, okay, come in. And I worked on her for 15 minutes and she was okay. And,
Amazing.
and sometimes, you have to remind that it's not you. I tell people, it's not me, it's him who I am just holding his light and I'm just a channeling, his, and I'm letting him use me to help people. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Sure does.
Even though I am the golden light, but I am the golden light because he chose me to be the light.
Oh,
So it was like that. It just started and then the word spread. So it was more of, I never marketed myself.
yeah.
It just came. When I started, it just happened. People kept coming by themselves. I never advertised. And I was actually into the finance world. I've worked in the retail industry at Home Depot.
Oh my
I
gosh.
was, I was their number one salesperson in
Wow.
Auburn, Massachusetts. And then my motto used to be, and I was the cashier. I was doing mom's hours, and my goal used to be anybody who passed through my line, I would make them smile in that 1 minute I had with them. And
Oh,
so I used to have long lines, and other cashiers would not have any lines. So people would, when they started to know me, they would just come back and they like, and even if they others wanted to take them, they would like, no, we'll just wait our turn with Bhavna. We just want to go through her line. So I would be the 8 hours I was there, I was working nonstop, whereas all the other cashiers would just stand and Bhavna's here. We don't have to do anything, but we just get it.
oh my goodness.
But I enjoyed every moment while I was there.
Beautiful. Oh my goodness. And I just have to also point out, I was reading more testimonials and watching. There's video testimonials on her website. And it's just amazing to see all the people that you're helping. And wow. Could you walk us through? Because some people, what does it feel like to do spiritual life coaching? What are some of the things specifically you can really help someone with?
So mainly, first of all, I tell people have this confusion. They confuse spirituality with
Hmm.
religion, and that's a big myth. Spirituality, in simple words, is nothing but your connection to yourself,
Yeah.
knowing who you are,
Hmm.
understanding to love yourself, understanding to love everything about you.
Yeah.
Okay. Once you know who you are, then you can love the people in your life more. You can love your God, your divine, your faith, whatever, and your family, your work, everything. But everything starts with you. And most of us are so disconnected. And that's why comes in the sadness, the anxiety, the depression, feeling lost. I don't
Yeah.
know what to do. I know I'm here for something. I
Hmm.
help people with trying to find themselves or going to their next level. And that sometimes lead to aches and pains in the body because they're not doing the work they're here to do. They know I have to do something, and then they close up. you know or if they've had a trauma, if they had an experience,
Yeah.
they just go into that I don't care zone.
So
So
true.
pulling them out of that, like, okay, let's start to live, let's recognize who you are, you're such a beautiful soul. you know
Ah,
and just reminding them that you have a light. Let's get that light out. If it's down, let's spark it up and let's
brighten it up a little bit, right?
exactly. I say to people, if you went out in the space and if you turned around, your light should be so bright that people from the space can see your lights shining. And all of
Uh-huh.
us together, if we start to shine our light, Earth will actually shine. Right now, if you
Yeah.
look from above, they've taken pictures from satellite. It's only, green and blues and browns. That's it.
Really?
Yeah. It's not it's not twinkling like other stars.
Interesting.
So if we all start to shine our light from our soul,
Mm-hmm.
Earth as a whole will then start to shine. And that happens when you know, you activate that switch inside of you. Like I have the switch on the side. You can see that. I
Yes.
always have it. I remind people, turn on that switch of who you are to know
Mm-hmm.
who you are. Because then that creates you to live happily and be joyful and be smiling all the time and being a kind-hearted person. And people can see that because we all want love at the end of the day.
Sure
We
do.
all come here to give and receive, love. But
Oh,
during that process, we get hurt sometimes, whether even if you are with a person who you love, because every day is not the same day, but we could make it. We could make it beautiful. It's reminding that you have that power to make it. You are powerful.
oh, amazing. Thank you so much. We still have 5 more minutes left in the show, plenty more time to talk. And there are some upcoming events. You do this annual meditation. Is there something going on in Bali? What do you have happening?
So I do
Retreats.
retreats. I do
Yes.
retreats. Right now, I we just did Bali and India and Bodh Gaya. I am based in Florida, so I do ongoing retreats right here. And what I'm offering right now is blockage removal series from my nonprofit, which is called Saving People, because that was created in 2020 when COVID happened. God came and woke me up one night and said, Bhavna, remember 2015? I told you and gave
Yeah.
you this name, and you didn't do anything. And I was like, yes, God. I was very busy with Bhavna's Wellness Group. And he's like, it's time to create this. And I put my papers in 1.5 weeks. I got my nonprofit status, 501(c)(3), which was like, wow. And so we've been trying to do a lot of help and helping people, saving lives, building peaceful, loving communities. So this one is blockage removal, where people feel I'm not good enough. What can I do? All these emotions which create and self-created blockages. So
Mm-hmm.
which gets you stuck in your own life, whether it's your money issues, whether it's your issues, whether you're feeling lost. What's my next step? How do I
Yeah.
get that? So it's like 15 minutes weekly, but it helps you to get back into the momentum of being you.
Beautiful.
And that's one thing. And then the next one is I'm starting abundance. I do masterminds.
Yes, I was
So
reading that. Three different ones, the money mastermind, relationship ones, spiritual ones, right?
that's right. So money is because I am blowing up that myth about money is evil, but I'm making it money is helps you bring happiness,
Yeah.
enjoy, and do the things you love to do. Because when you have that, you can do what you love doing. And then when you have more, you can help others with that,
Yeah.
right? And that shifts and that makes everybody happy. So why not have it? Because so many people are in that mindset of lack and they don't even realize it and they're struggling and struggling. So I want to get people out of that struggle and understand, why are you struggling? Let's get it out. Let's get you have the money. And I'm teaching the differences of money all the way going up to the prosperity, being rich, being wealthy, being in abundance, and actually being prosperous, but also bringing that into your life and love. You know, if you have a partner, if you have family, how do you be with them? How do you be with yourself? How do you
Yeah.
not hate somebody? Why you
Yeah.
should not hate anybody, you know? And
Wow.
and it all starts with you.
Well, life is so precious. I mean, speaking from experience and my own experience is yours, especially, my goodness. But I feel like we all have one life to live, and why not make it the best life ever? And, as you mentioned, it's not just about financial freedom, but that's amazing. Spiritual freedom, just happiness and just abundance in life. And it's just so beautiful. And even I know I read on your website earlier, you even help, people like who have cancer on their healing
Mhm.
journeys, those that are, have illnesses, chronic, or I mean, these are just amazing things to help someone feel so good. And I mean, it's possible to heal. I love hearing about this. And then also, you're doing Reiki at the same time. We didn't even get to talk about that. You're a mastermind. What is your exact title?
So I have a Shine Your Light Mastermind,
Mm-hmm.
and that
Perfect.
is helping your soul's light be shining and connecting you to your soul's gift and your purpose, living life with purpose, but shining and recognizing who you at the soul level are, and then bringing that light out so you can bring it to every aspect of you in
Oh,
your work, in your relationships, and you can grow and create that ripple effect,
yeah.
you know, because that's powerful.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for being here, for enlightening us, and amazing. Please tell us how we can reach out to you. Do you offer an initial consultation? How does it work to work with you? Could you just share a little bit about that? Thank you.
Yes. So my phone number is 774-242-2112. And my website is bhwellnessgroup.com and savingpeople.org. And I do offer free 15 minutes discovery call and consultation in what's going on in your life. But if you have cancer, I do free healings weekly. For
Wow.
people, I've been doing it since 2007,
Oh my goodness.
every week. And before, we used to also have support groups for people to come in. Right now, every
Ah,
Wednesday, 10 to 10:30, it's free for anybody who has cancer.
oh my goodness. Wow, this is beautiful. So book that free discovery call. Tell us the phone number and any social media pages we can reach out to you on, hon.
Yes, I do have Facebook, BH Wellness Group, Instagram, same thing, BH Wellness Group, and YouTube, Bhavna's Golden Light. And you can find me there. I'm trying to do a lot of uh, lives, a lot already there for people to go
Beautiful.
in and listen
Thank you
to.
so much for doing what you're doing. We appreciate it and can't wait to speak again, really. Thank you so much for your time today and enjoy this day.
Thank you very much, Jill. I'm
Thank
on.
you. Bye bye.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.